This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. I'm Nolan Johannes. Karen Harch is away. The Big Top may flop in Luzerne County. A circus set to open tomorrow, and Hanover Township may never get off the ground. Newswatch 16's Joe Ducey is live now, where that circus is supposed to be set up, to tell us about an insurance liability problem. Joe?
Well, Nolan, you may be able to see over my shoulder, I don't know, the elephants are here. There are a few tents that are up here, but there's a possibility that this circus may not be going on tomorrow. The Toby Tyler three-ring circus is supposed to be going on here in Hanover Township tomorrow night. But township officials found out from the state today that Toby Tyler doesn't have liability insurance, meaning the landowner and others could be responsible for any accidents that happen here, and there have been accidents that have happened at Toby Tyler shows. On Monday, 68 spectators were injured in Greenport, New York, when a section of bleachers collapsed. You're seeing these pictures here. They were rushed to the hospital. Some still remain there. Also on May 9th in Philadelphia, a similar incident left 9 people injured. So landowners and sponsors say insurance is a must.
Without it, they stand to be liable in the event of a lawsuit, and that could be catastrophic for them. They're very, very concerned.
Now, circus officials tell me there's really no problem here. Their old policy did expire, but there is a new policy, and they're sending proof of that to township officials. Should be here sometime tomorrow. So officials here will wait for that. The officials have gotten insurances that no bleachers will be used here, that the people will be seated on regular seats here. So state and local officials will be back out tomorrow just to determine how safe this is, and look over the situation and then make a decision on whether or not this show will go on. Joe Ducey, Newswatch 16, live in Hanover Township. Nolan?
Thank you, Joe. Liability insurance is also before a statewide commission on police training that is meeting in Wilkes-Barre today. State Police Commissioner Jay Cochran is asking for delays in putting a cop on the beat until he or she has been fully trained. The reason? The liability insurance crunch.
The issue of training and the police officer are inextricably intertwined. The properly trained police officer is in a better position to provide safer and more effective service to the public, and that's really the whole issue.
Under current state law, police officers in local areas can be given gun and badge while they are still getting their police training. The U.S. Supreme Court today upheld a Pennsylvania law to jail people for 5 years if they commit a crime with a gun. That law, says a judge, must impose a 5-year jail term if evidence shows a criminal had a gun at the time of the crime. At least 2 other states, New Jersey and Kansas, have laws similar to Pennsylvania. The word is official tonight. The Ames Shower Curtain Company is headed south. The company spokesman confirmed what Newswatch 16 reported to you yesterday. The Lackawanna County plant is moving to Tennessee after being sold to a firm in Delaware. That means that 200 jobs will be lost to the town of Vandling and that area by the end of this month. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll be telling you about a family watching an old home go to the ground while setting up a new place. Plus, Action 16 and Jerry Gartenberg will take us to Jerry's garbage dump, and it's sitting right next to his desk. We'll explain next.
Protein stains. When they're ground in, soaked through, you need more power to cut through. The protein power of new Era Plus. This tough grass stain is made of protein, and protein gets out protein. Now Era has more power to even cut through the ground-in dirt below. Nothing gets out every stain, but now there's new Era Plus. Protein power to cut clean through.
Whether you're building or remodeling, shop Mariotti Lumber.
When it comes to Anderson PermaShield windows, we simply have the lowest prices and largest selection you'll find. Thousands of Anderson windows priced way below the competition. Bays, bows, and Anderson combinations made in our own unique window shop. So buy where the builders buy and save.
That's Mariotti Lumber Company, South Main Street, Old Forge. Our experience makes us the leader.
There may have been a second death in Washington State from Excedrin extra strength capsules contaminated with cyanide poison. and there's a government warning tonight about taking any of the medication. Also, Bristol-Myers is recalling nationwide all Excedrin extra strength capsules in drugstores and other retail outlets where they're taking them off the shelves tonight, including this store in Lycoming County. After one woman's death, June 11th in Auburn, Washington, a second poison bottle, also in Auburn, was found yesterday in the home of a widow whose husband died 2 weeks ago, supposedly of natural causes. An autopsy is being performed with test results expected tonight. Bristol-Myers is asking that if you have any Excedrin extra strength capsules, return them to the store for Excedrin tablets, or you can write to Bristol-Myers for a cash refund or for the tablets. Send the capsules to Post Office Box 1000, Baltimore, Maryland, zip code 21268. Only extra strength Excedrin comes in the recalled capsule form. The mailbag in the Action 16 office is filling up again, so it's time for Jerry Gartenberg to answer some letters. Jerry says you are still writing him about those obsolete Kodak instant cameras.
Many of you tell me you are still in the dark about Kodak's trade-in offer for these instant cameras. I'm afraid Kodak is in the dark, too. A court has barred the company from going through with plans to give you the option of a $50 disc camera in exchange for your old Kodak. That's because of a lawsuit brought against the company by some Kodak instant camera owners. Kodak says you will get some kind of exchange once the lawsuit's settled. Meantime, about all you can do is make sure Kodak has your name, address, and the registration number of your camera. The company's 24-hour toll-free number is 1-800-792-3000. Now, after our story about black lung benefits, I heard from a number of viewers who want more information. The U.S. Department of Labor can send you a fact sheet about federal black lung benefits at no charge. Just send a postcard to Black Lung Fact Sheet, U.S. Department of Labor Information Office, 3535 Market Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19104. Finally, with the Statue of Liberty festivities only a few weeks away, it figures I'd get a letter like this. It suggests if I order some pills, I'll be forever free from growing old. Folks, if someone discovers how to reverse aging, we'll let you know first on Newswatch 16. Until then, I'm going to exercise my freedom to throw this in Gartenberg's garbage. I think I'll keep this handy, just in case I get garbage in the future. Jerry Gartenberg, Action 16.
Of course, none of your letters go in that file.
No.
The Weather Watch is next with our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark. Tom,
Yeah.
looks and feels like rain.
It's coming down, Nolan. We've had close to 7 inches of rain so far this month.
Wow.
Here. Don't need much more. When we come back, we'll look at that radar and the intensity of the rain moving through tonight. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP-TV. And we're proud to serve Effort and all of Monroe County.
What makes Diet Slice taste so good? Lemon lime and mandarin orange.
It's a sure save celebration, yeah!
Celebrate with savings during our anniversary celebration. Maxwell House Instant Coffee, 12-ounce jar, $6.49. Marcal paper towels, 2 rolls, $1. And Comet Cleanser, buy 3, get 1 free. Join the Sure Save anniversary celebration at a locally owned supermarket near you.
That convoy of oversized trucks did back up traffic on Interstate 81 today, but not quite as bad as expected. These 20-foot wide trucks carrying generator parts for a New York power plant got on at the Hazleton area, and it took about an hour and a half to move through the one-lane construction zone on northbound 81. Then another hour and a half to pass through the Scranton area construction on I-81 northbound. And all state police tell us there were very few problems in the 3-hour trip. The trucks then traveled Interstate 84 east to New York State. Let's travel out to the backyard right now and find out how things are going. Tom?
Look nice in those pictures of the weather. Quite a contrast from just 6 hours ago when it was nice and clear and sunny. The rain came in very quickly this afternoon, and so far in this backyard, a mere 0.02 of an inch has fallen. Let's check in with our weather watchers on duty tonight, and Gloria Ferry down there in Bowmanstown, Carbon County, checks in with a 74, cloudy. at this hour. Up there in Thompson, Beatrice Fry, and 62 at her place, and Matthew Prokowski in Cowan, Union County, 70 with rain at the moment. In our backyard, a steady rain falling, and the reading is at 69. The humidity 60%, southwest wind at 7, and the barometer's at 29.96, and it's falling. We had a high temperature here today of 72 degrees, and the low temperature this morning tied the record at 45. Here's the satellite view from this morning, and you can see how quickly those clouds moved in from the Great Lakes this afternoon. But there was one town just west of Cleveland had a half-inch of rain in just 10 minutes. But as you look a little bit farther north over the lakes at the top of your screen, you can see it's nice and clear up there, and that air is heading in our direction thanks to a jet stream pattern that is shaping up to look like this by about Saturday. So the dry air is going to return quickly during the day tomorrow, and some of that hot air may try to come in on Sunday and Monday. The radar shows, well, I don't see any red on there, so there are no heavy thunderstorms with this rain pattern moving through. It's moving through quickly at about 30 miles an hour. So it's going to be kind of a showery rain tonight, just kind of on the light side, and amounts will not be all that heavy between now and daybreak. As a matter of fact, the rain could be tapering off by sunrise tomorrow morning. Overnight, I expect about a quarter-inch to about a half-inch of rain, so no problems anticipated with that. Up there in Clifford, 58 the morning low. In Effort, 60 the low tonight. 61 in Benton, about 62 in Selinsgrove. Avis dropping down to about 60. And the sun, the wind overnight tonight will be from the southwest, shifting to north tomorrow morning. Here's the sunrise for tomorrow morning, 5:30 for that. 8:40 is your sunset tomorrow evening. The last full day of spring on the way. Some showers overnight tonight, nothing too heavy, about 60. 72 tomorrow, clearing skies, becoming nice and sunny before mid-afternoon, and a beautiful night tomorrow night. The moon will be out, and Saturday, the first day of summer, sunny. A beautiful day. Low humidity once again, 75. Then warming up to the low and middle 80s on Sunday. It should be dry on Sunday. Some thunderstorms coming in on Monday.
Okay. Sounds great.
It does.
Thanks, Tom C. and the update. Tim Carlson will be next with local reaction to the tragic and sudden loss of basketball star Len Bias.
Excuse me, of all the tough cleaning jobs you'd use Top Job for, what's a really tough one?
The range. It gets splattered with greasy dirt.
Right, but greasy dirt also gets on walls.
Yeah.
And cabinets.
Uh-huh. Appliances.
No wax floors.
That's practically all over.
Yeah, just look. On the toughest baked-on greasy dirt, Top Job outcleans ammonia and leading lemon cleaners.
Since Top Job cleans so much, so well, wouldn't Top Jobs be a better name?
New from Nissan, 1987 Sentras, Stanzas, and Maximas. And your Northeast Nissan dealers have them. Sentra, America's #1 selling import, is totally new. Stanza sedans and wagons let you stretch out in style without stretching your budget. Maxima, the ideal answer to higher-priced European touring sedans. Visit Larry Heron Williamsport, Bradley Lawless Scranton, and Fred Schuler Wilkes-Barre.
Well, it's kind of tough today in the sports world because of some sad news, Tim.
It certainly is, and that's the way it goes, Nolan. Sometimes it is just not always a good time in sports. This is one of those rare days when reporting sports to you is difficult. The big story of the day is tragic and concerns the death of a promising young basketball star, Len Bias, from the University of Maryland.
The Boston Celtics select Len Bias of the University of Maryland.
2 days ago, Len Bias's lifetime dream came true. He was drafted by the Boston Celtics, the second player selected in the NBA draft. Today at 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time, Len Bias died of an apparent heart attack.
I just couldn't believe it. As a kid that had his whole life ahead of him.
Len Bias's college career at Maryland saw him break the school's scoring record. Twice he was named the Atlantic Coast Conference's Player of the Year. Bias's play at Maryland convinced the Boston Celtics he was the best player available in the draft. At 6 feet 8 inches tall and 210 pounds, Len Bias appeared to be the picture of health.
He'd been through physical exams and the whole bit, and just came out perfect. You look at him, I'll just go back to the last couple of days when we spent a couple of days with him, and now he's not here.
Maryland head coach Lefty Drizel, who's known Len Bias since he was a 6th grader and coached him in college, found it tough to talk with reporters this afternoon.
I know, I'm sad, but I'm not even worried because I know where Leonard is. I know he's in heaven, and I'm going to miss him, and I know everybody else here will too. And I really can't say a whole lot more except I love you, Leonard, and I'll miss you, and I'll see you in heaven one day.
Len Bias, dead at the age of 22. With the death of basketball star Len Bias comes renewed concern for the health of all athletes and those who deal with it every day. Albie Oxenreiter is live at the University of Scranton with more on health and sports. Albie?
Tim, it appears to be a typical night here at the John Long Center, a typical Thursday night basketball game, or at least it appears to be a typical Thursday night basketball game. But tonight, things are very, very different, as the death of Len Bias is very much on the mind of these players, basketball players everywhere, and athletes everywhere. The cause of death is listed as heart attack, but doctors in Baltimore are busy examining other possibilities, one of which is the theory that Bias died of what is known as Marfan syndrome, a disease that affects tall and thin people, and a disease that hits very close to home here at the University of Scranton.
I'm worried about it as a coach because one of my players might be affected with it. We just don't know enough now to tell our physicians who examine our kids to look what to look for. So we're in the dark as far as the syndrome is concerned. But as a coach, I'm critically concerned because it might affect one of my players.
It's just tragic. And you figure, what's the chance? First of all, what's the chances of the syndrome? All right, the number of people, and then you take it down further. And in a school that has, if in fact it is, that has 3 players that have died as a result of it, and another player that's in school that's medically restricted from playing because of the syndrome.
The death of Bias affects players everywhere, and especially local players and young players. I talked with Coach Beswire today. He told me that he relayed the information of Bias's death to his players and the players at a basketball camp this morning. Their reaction was one of total shock, and that's a reaction that's echoing around the sports world tonight as the realization of death sets in and the realization that we've lost a great, great young basketball player. I'm Albie Oxenreiter reporting live with the Instacam at the John Long Center at the University of Scranton.
Thanks, Albie. We'll see you on the update. Now, we want to make it clear that because of Len Bias's death, we're not saying all basketball players are a health risk. It's just shocking when a presumably healthy young athlete dies suddenly and unexpectedly. We'll see you tonight on the update with more sports, and I do want to mention one happy note in sports today.
Yes.
Don Sutton won his 300th victory last night for the California Angels, and he is definitely a happy man, the 19th Major League pitcher to win 300 games.
Okay, Tim, we'll see you on the update. Well, they are looking for the oldest and the biggest in Pike County. We'll tell you about a new contest next as Newswatch 16 continues.
I wanted a tough 4x4 pickup that had something more. A couple of buddies said Toyota SR5, so I compared it to the Ford Ranger STX. You know, I found Toyota Turbo can't beat the Ranger V6 for horsepower. The Ranger STX has a trim level SR5 can't offer. And the Ranger STX was priced over $600 less than a comparably equipped SR5. Who could ask for anything more? I did. Ford Ranger STX.
5.9% financing now on Ranger at your Quality Plus Ford dealers.
Finally tonight, news of another contest. We've all heard of beauty contests and baby contests and pie-eating contests. Tonight, Newswatch 16's Mark Anik branches out to Pike County and uncovers something being called the Big Tree Contest.
To most, it's just a tree. Those with a bit more tree sense know it as a Japanese larch. To Forester Joe Macalitis, it could be a big tree contender.
This is the circumference right here, and it's 4.7 feet.
Joe is measuring the tree for Pike County's Big Tree Contest. It's an effort to find the biggest tree of each species in the area. Joe uses a tape measure for some measurements, then a special device to find the height.
The total height of the tree is 73 feet.
A point value is assigned to each measurement, and this tree ends up with a total of 138.
It comes close to the state champion, this tree does. I'm sure it'll probably be a Pike County champion.
If it is a champ, it will be part of a pamphlet on the big trees of Pike County. That would make Joe Riesely happy. He's the one who nominated it.
I filled out a piece of paper and sent him in and told him I had a Japanese larch that I thought was pretty big.
But conservationists say there's a bigger purpose to this big tree contest. It's not just numbers. It's not just the height of a tree. It's not just champions. It's all about educating people, getting them to understand that trees of any type are important. We should do our best to preserve them, and that we should stop people from taking them down.
In the Milford area, we lost a large white oak that might have had a good chance at, ranking in this contest, but it was bulldozed over.
Rick Foote hopes that by having a contest and picking the champs, he can keep that from happening again. Mark Annick, Newswatch 16, Pike County.
And now we'll all be out there looking at our trees and trying to find out if we have champions in our yard. That's all right. And that's Newswatch 16 for Thursday. Be sure to join us tonight on the update at 11 when we'll be telling you about the Baby on Board ban. World News Tonight is next. For the team, including Karen, who has the night off, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your evening.